Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, November 7th through Sunday, November 13th. And there's quite a lot more aspects, major aspects this week, okay? First one is on Tuesday, November 8th. The Sun in Scorpio conjuncts Mercury in Scorpio. And on the same day, Mercury in Scorpio opposes Uranus in Taurus. On Wednesday, November 9th, the Sun in Scorpio opposes Uranus in Taurus. On Thursday, November 10th, Mercury in Scorpio squares Saturn in Aquarius. And on the same day, Venus in Aquarius trines Neptune in Pisces. On Friday, November 11th, the Sun in Scorpio squares Saturn in Aquarius. On Saturday, November 12th, Mercury in Scorpio trines Neptune in Pisces. And on Sunday, November 13th, Venus in Scorpio sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. So there's a lot more transits this week, right? So thank you so much to my subscribers for sticking with me and liking and sharing and commenting on my video. If you're new to my channel and you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. You can also check out the links below in the description box. One is to my website where you can get more information on the services that I offer for astrology. And there's also something called Ask Me a Question. It's for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. And there's also a link there to my email address, which is actually just easier to email me and ask me whatever it is you want to know there. Okay, so now for your forecast. Hi, Sagittarius. So, on Tuesday, November 8th, the Sun in Scorpio in your 12th house conjuncts Mercury in Scorpio in your 12th house. And on the same day, Mercury in Scorpio in your 12th house opposes the planet Uranus in your 6th house of Taurus. Okay, at the same time, Wednesday, November 9th, the Sun in Scorpio also opposes Uranus in Taurus in your 6th house. So, you know, your 12th house is the house of secrets. And behind the scenes maneuvers or actions taken by you or someone else. A lot of times when planets are here, you're just recharging your batteries and waiting for planets to move into your first house. But, you know, I always call Mercury in the 12th house the investigator, okay? Because usually it's a time where you get curious possibly about someone or something, and you start asking around about them maybe, or somebody could even come to you with some kind of secret, okay, or information about someone you were just wondering about, or what's their story, you know, kind of thing like that. Because these planets are directly across from your 6th house of the workplace, your co-workers, the kind of work that you do. It's also your house of health and small pets and service to others and a lot of other things, but I'd have to say that it's regarding someone you work with, possibly some kind of secret that could possibly come out, or you have to be very careful who you're around when you're speaking about anything, because you could be talking about something that you believe is common knowledge and it isn't. It may not be like a huge secret, or maybe someone didn't point out to you that they didn't want it shared with other people. But you know, just be careful about whatever it is that you say, even about yourself, especially when you're at work, okay? There could be people just hovering around, you know, just waiting for your downfall in some way or other. Not just you, your co-workers also. There could be just something going on that could be a little stressful right now. You know, in the workplace, okay, if, you know, it could be with your company or your co-workers or your work period. Something is up in the air with that. Having Uranus in your 6th house of the kind of work that you do could be something unusual. Circumstances regarding your current position or your job or the work that you do I've already mentioned many times that by now, you know, you more or less come up with some kind of side venture as far as work goes, and you know, creating a place for yourself, possibly in the arts or something like that, in regards to what you would like to do to earn a living. You know, whatever you do to make money is a job, but you're interested in having a career, you know, in something that you love doing. So this is a nosy nosy kind of transit these 2 days, and it's really kind of sudden, the way some of this stuff comes out, okay? So if you don't work at all, okay, this could be regarding, let's say, the house of service to others, okay? And also the 12th house is the house of like confinement of some kind, like prisons, even an actual prison, or someone who is confined to their home due to illness, or maybe some of that bling, ankle bling, you know, they have a monitor that is making them stuck at home as far as the law goes in prison. Could also be someone that is in a nursing home, or personal care home or something or other, and excuse me, you're helping them, or whatever. You know, you could get some kind of frantic call even about something like this, and having to rush to help someone that could be calling you for bail money, or come pick them up at the station, you know, or someone that you know is in like the hospital, or again, like I said, personal care home, or is just stuck at home, and they're needing your help, okay? As far as another service to others, what I call for the 6th house is an arrangement that you have with someone that you both benefit from. And it's usually because this person approached you and they needed your help in some way, they needed a favor, and in turn, to get you to do this for them, they agreed to do something for you, so you both benefit from the arrangement. Okay, this could have been an ongoing thing, possibly with a neighbor, okay? But it could also be with a sibling or cousins, okay? But something, it could be even just something that's going on in your neighborhood, that you have some kind of arrangement with someone. Well, whatever could come out now, that maybe they weren't telling you everything. They weren't actually telling you why they really needed your help, why they couldn't go to anyone else, and why they went to you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, on Thursday, November 10th, Mercury in Scorpio in your 12th house squares Saturn in Aquarius in your 3rd house. And the Sun actually does the same thing on Friday, November 11th. The Sun in Scorpio also squares Saturn in Aquarius in your 3rd house, okay? You know, something is happening, let's say, in some kind of news. Your 3rd house, where you have Saturn, is a travel and communication house. It's like your everyday life, though, and the people you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day. Okay, your 6th house is also your everyday life, but it's more like your schedule, you know, like what you do every day, you know, get up, take vitamins, all this, whatever, you know, run or exercise or do something or other, okay? So there's something going on that you're really not able to, I would have to say that you found something out, okay, about a neighbor, or again, a sibling, or relatives of some kind, or even an old classmate. Okay, 3rd house is also school. And, you know, it is affecting your, I want to say, your ability to like speak out. Okay, having Saturn in your 3rd house does sometimes kind of quiet your voice in a way, or makes you very guarded in whatever it is you say. And I believe this is one of those times, you know, that you feel like you can't say anything. You know, you don't want to reveal something or other to anyone. You know, maybe somebody confided in you even, you know, and it could be something pretty juicy and something that you would rather not have anything to do with. But for some reason or other, they went to you and they told you everything. And you know, it could be something that's really preying on your mind, okay? Also on Thursday, November 10th, though, Venus in Scorpio in your 12th house trines Neptune in your 4th house of Pisces. So your 4th house is your home life, your personal life, your family. It's where you physically live and the property surrounding it. It is your past and your childhood, your how you were raised even, okay? So maybe this is something to do with a family member, you know? It could be something, you know, I don't know, kind of trying, you know, to know. You know, you want to help, but maybe you're not able to do everything that you want to do. But or again, people are involving you in something that you would probably not want to be involved in. Okay. On Saturday, November 12th, Mercury in Scorpio in your 12th house also trines Neptune in Pisces in your 4th house. So we're back to just like the whole thing. You know, I do have to say, okay, on Sunday, November 13th, Venus in Scorpio in your 12th house, sextiles Pluto in Capricorn in your 2nd house. So, you know, whatever people are involving you in, I believe that they're going to try to give you some kind of gift because of it. They could pay you, you know, for your help, or to keep your mouth shut, or both, you know, or your trouble, you know, your troubles. But, you know, it's really something to consider how much you would want to be involved in something right now that more than likely doesn't concern you at all, you know. But someone wants you involved for some reason or other. They just, I don't know, feel better unloading on you. Okay. So for Libra, on Tuesday, November 8th, the Sun in Scorpio in your 2nd house conjuncts Mercury in Scorpio in your 2nd house. And on the same day, Mercury in Scorpio opposes Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house. Okay, and on Wednesday, November 9th, the Sun in Scorpio in your 2nd house also opposes Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house. So obviously, your 2nd house is your earned income, your possessions, your valuables, but it's how you earn your money. And the 8th house is actually shared property, shared income, shared accounts, credit card accounts, bank accounts, but it's also other people's money and resources. Many things. Okay, so obviously there's something going on here with that. There is possibly a tug of war with another person. It could be in regards to jointly held property. Just like I said, like bank accounts or credit cards or actual physical property. I believe it's called real property, okay, which is like a house or something like that. Something really tangible. Okay, so you know, that's could be a lot of interaction going on there right now. A lot of it not good. You know, at least it's getting out there though, and it's being taken care of. You could also receive some kind of surprise bill, you know, from a creditor. You could also learn that someone has stolen your identity possibly, or has charged up all kinds of stuff on your credit card. So it's a really good idea to check your bank statements and credit card statements, and also to check to see, check on your valuables, things that you've put aside in that very special sock drawer or whatever, you know, jewelry, something like that, coins, you know, check to make sure they're still there. Okay, you just never know. I don't want to say you've been robbed, but it's just a good idea to make sure that things you assume are a certain way, that they really are that way. Okay. Also, be careful of your, like, if you're self-employed, your billing period. You know that when you bill people or an invoice or something like that, make sure that they have paid you. Okay, and check up on those people that haven't. What I like, you know, these transits for, because this is pretty much what they're good for, but you really do have to have Libra rising in order to have Scorpio on your 2nd house cusp, and Taurus on the 8th house cusp, and that's using the house system of equal house system, but we won't even go into that. But I'm just saying, okay? What these oppositions are good for is winning, sudden windfalls, okay? I would play the lottery if I were you. I would take the largest jackpot. We have Powerball in the United States that's nearing $2 billion. Hopefully somebody will win that soon, but whatever it is, play the lottery. As long as these planets are like directly across from each other, that's what oppositions are good for. Trines on their own are sometimes too weak to bring about a win of any kind, and that's why a hard aspect like an opposition is good for gambling sometimes, okay? So on Thursday, November 10th, Mercury in Scorpio in your second house squares Saturn in Aquarius in your fifth house. And on Friday, November 11th, the Sun in Scorpio also squares this Saturn in Aquarius in your fifth house of romance. Okay, romance, fun of any kind, entertainment of any kind, creativity, anything to do with children, okay? But this is speculation and gambling. That's why I don't believe that, you know, you're going to go overboard if you do play the lottery. I don't think you're really going to do anything. As long as Saturn's here, it has put a damper on your love life. Your creativity is still excellent, and it's more detailed. That's what Saturn does, is it makes you sit down and pay attention to whatever's in front of you. If you're a writer, you know, you have really explicit, and especially a mystery writer, you have really a lot of cool twists and turns that people did not see coming, which was like a very good Agatha Christie trait, because she did present all of the facts before you. She didn't do a Perry Mason, which is, you younger people will have to Google that. Pull a Perry Mason at the very end and say, you know, bring in some witness that nobody knew existed, or some new evidence or something like that, okay? So that's what Saturn in the fifth house is good for. Detail. It's not very good for romance, though, but if you are involved with someone, it's usually someone older or more stable. I've already said in the past that they could be a real snore. You know, it's boring, but it's safe, okay? Safe and reliable. Well, this square right now, this is regarding money. Money, you know, maybe you don't want to spend money on, you know, pursuing a romantic getaway possibly, you know, or just a difference of how to spend money possibly, you know, if you do have your jointly held bank accounts and credit cards, you know, that could be the topic of conversation. Who's spending too much? Who owes what? What are we going to do? You know, something like that, okay? So it's in regards to money. You may also have to dish out in some way or other for a child, you know, and a lot of times it's for school stuff, like if they play sports, their equipment, or dance, if they dance, you know, their costumes are phenomenally, whatever, expensive. They're way too expensive, and they're skimpy, okay? Anyways, also on Thursday, November 10th, okay, Venus in Scorpio trines Neptune in Pisces in your, let's see here, sorry about that, in your sixth house, okay? And on Saturday, November 12th, Mercury in Scorpio in your second house, okay, along with that Venus, also trines Neptune in your sixth house of Pisces, okay? So your sixth house is the house of the kind of work that you do. It's your work schedule, your co-workers, you know, everything revolving around work. And Jupiter is back here right now. So there could be like a new person that came into the picture in the workforce. It could be a new boss or just a co-worker or something like that. But they're like a breath of fresh air. They're really helping you in some way. Maybe you were carrying a heavy load at work, and they finally, even if it's a temporary person, a temp that they've hired, it seems to be really working out well for you, okay? Now on Sunday, November 13th, Venus in Scorpio in your second house, sixth house, Pluto transiting in your fourth house of Capricorn. And this is the time, though it may be something small, that you will more than likely purchase something for your home, something you've had your eye on. It could even be something personal, though, something for yourself. But to me, it doesn't look like it's a big, big purchase. Okay. Or, you know, somebody could just gift you with something for your home. Or, you know, whatever. It could be personal also. Okay. Anyways, so for Taurus, on Tuesday, November 8th, the Sun in Scorpio conjuncts Mercury in Scorpio in your, where are we here? Oh, sorry about that, 7th house. Okay, and Mercury in Scorpio in your, wait a minute, what the hell? I have these marked. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so the Sun is in your 7th house and Mercury is in your 7th house in Scorpio. Okay, it's directly across from your 1st house of Taurus, right? On this same day, Mercury in Scorpio in your 7th house opposes Saturn in your, Uranus in your 1st house in Taurus, okay? On Wednesday, November 9th, the Sun in Scorpio in your 7th house also opposes Uranus in your 1st house, okay? So there's probably not like a real fun time at the, you know, these 2 days. That Sun conjunct Mercury in your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships and arrangements and agreements. It like just seems that to me that there's something that's going on in one of your close relationships. This is business, romantic, or a friend. It could also be a competitor even, okay? And this is also the house of open enemies. Someone that you're more than likely already involved with, okay? It's a time for like some kind of new arrangement, because whatever was already in place just doesn't seem to be working. And that's what this is about. This is possibly a sudden argument that actually needs to take place. You know, some kind of correction needs to be made here with a, you know, a romantic partner, a business partner, or a friend even, okay? It could happen just totally out of the blue. Now, these oppositions to Uranus in your 1st house, okay, I'm going to have to say you're the one that's just going to be blurting things out. A lot of stuff maybe you weren't even ever planning on saying, but it's how you truly feel. So you're more than likely getting a ton of stuff off your chest. You might hurt someone's feelings in the process, but or you might get your feelings hurt, period, or whatever. You know, it's something that kind of like needs to be done, though. This is a little bit of a breakup, maybe even. It doesn't mean that it's everlasting, you know, but at this time, you and someone else could just like part ways, okay? On Thursday, November 10th, Mercury in Scorpio in your 7th house squares Saturn in Aquarius in your 10th house. And on Friday, November 11th, the Sun in Scorpio in your 7th house also squares Saturn in your 10th house of Aquarius. And your 10th house is your house of your career. It's your most public house. It's your public persona, how people view you and speak about you publicly, and how you're known by reputation, personally and professionally. So having Saturn here means you've made this really steady climb to the top, you know, and it has not been easy. You've had people blocking your way, usually higher ups or whatever, but somebody's loading you down with a ton of work. And this is like one of those times, you know, maybe you are just like speaking up for yourself and saying, you know, someone is, you know, a higher up is taking credit for your work, or you're not getting compensated enough, then, you know, then you should be. So, you know, this could be a time where you're having that little talk with whoever it is who's in charge of your pay rate. You know, if you're self-employed, it's the same thing too. You could be having problems with a client that just gets a lot more out of you than what they're paying for, you know, and you have to change that. You have to stop it, okay? Also on Thursday, November 10th, Venus in Scorpio in your 7th house trines Neptune in Pisces in your 11th. And on Saturday, November 12th, Mercury in Scorpio in your 7th house also trines Neptune in your 11th house of Pisces. So your 11th house is your friends and acquaintances and where you go to hang out. It's socializing in person and on social media. It's any kind of organization that you belong to, and it's also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. And Jupiter is back here again. Somebody that is like within your crowd, your group of friends, maybe back in town, maybe they left, maybe they're back like till the end of the year. They're here for, you know, the holidays or something or other. But this is like getting together with your friends, possibly to attend some kind of event. And you know, it's a lot of fun. It's time for you to have some kind of fun with your friends. You're like going out possibly just to get away from people, okay, and like get out there and have a good time doing something. Okay, on Sunday, November 13th, Venus in Scorpio in your 7th house, sextiles Pluto in your 9th house of Capricorn. So this is really nice too. You know, your 9th house is the house of, you know, long distance travel and communications. It's your philosophy on life, your spiritual and religious beliefs. It's foreign anything, foreign people, people who live in another country, a different culture, language, all that stuff, you know. You know, you could just like be in touch with someone, possibly even just on social media, maybe joining like some new group on like Facebook or something like that, and you make a new friend with someone who does live at a distance, is a foreigner, or is some kind of like has the same kind of spiritual or religious beliefs or philosophy or something like that that you do. So for Cancer, okay, on Tuesday, November 8th, the Sun in Scorpio in your 5th house conjuncts Mercury in Scorpio in your 5th house. And on the same day, Mercury in Scorpio in your 5th house opposes Uranus transiting in your 11th house of Taurus. And on the next day, Wednesday, November 9th, the Sun in Scorpio in your 5th house also opposes Uranus in Taurus in your 11th house, okay? So this could be a pretty volatile day, couple days here. Your 5th house is your house of fun and romance, and entertainment of any kind, sports, games, it's gambling, it's anything to do with children, or not even just your own, anything, anyone's children, but big romance and creativity house. It's the house of parties and stuff too. Okay, well, your 11th house, where you have Taurus, is your friends. Okay, your friends and acquaintances, where you would normally go to hang out. Okay, this is like socializing in person or on social media. You really don't have to go out, but this is like being in contact with your friends. Okay, it's any kind of organization that you belong to. And it's your house of dreams, hopes, and wishes, okay? So I would have to say that something's brewing. You know, if you belong to any kind of band or whatever, if you're involved in any kind of creative project with a group of people, or maybe even just one other person, this could be a time where you have like big differences. You know, this is why like bands are good together and then they break up, or somebody puts out a solo album or something or other, you know what I mean? But people have their own vision, you know what I mean? You have a group vision and then you have your own. So this could be one of those times where if you are involved in some kind of creative project, you really put your 2 cents in and insist on something being done a certain way, okay? Whether or not you stay with the group, whatever, that's, you'll have to see what happens, okay? As far as your friends go, though, too, there could be one of them, and it doesn't even have to be a close friend. It could be like just someone that's part of your crowd or whatever, that is a real asshole, more or less. You know, they have something to say about everybody. So you're not excluded here, you know, but as far as your creativity goes, they're like a critic, you know, because they don't have any talent of their own. So they're going to pick apart whatever it is that you do, you know, creatively. As for romance, you know, you could have a big surprise going down, you know, with someone where that does kind of take you by surprise even, you know, maybe you were totally unaware that this person felt that way. You could also find out in a roundabout way that someone you're seeing was seen with someone else, or maybe they are really, you know, seeing someone other than just you. You know, all kinds of fun stuff comes out here, okay? What I will tell you to do, though, is oppositions in these houses, the fifth house being the house of gambling, 11th house being the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. I will tell you to play the lottery, even though there could be some kind of uproar in your love life, or, you know, with your friends. At least put a buck on a number, okay? I always say the largest jackpot that is here at this time, okay? Right now, the Powerball in America is up to almost $2 billion, okay? So something like that, because that's what oppositions are good for when it comes to just like needing a hard aspect to create a win, okay? On Thursday, November 10th, Mercury in Scorpio in your 5th house squares Saturn, transiting in Aquarius in your 8th house. And on Friday, November 11th, the Sun in Scorpio in your 5th house also squares Saturn in Aquarius in your 8th house. So, you know, your 8th house is the house of jointly held resources, property, debt, jointly held bank accounts, credit cards. This is also the house of other people's resources and money, and the house of inheritance and legacies and whatever. You know, someone may have passed away in your life, you know, within the past few years. Maybe you're still trying to inherit whatever it was that they left for you. But if that's not the case, you know, having these planets in your 5th house of fun and wanting to do stuff, you know, maybe money is tight right now and you're not able to, let's say, take a short trip or whatever with whomever. It could be a friend, doesn't have to be romantic. But you're not able to spend the money really that you would want to, or maybe you really don't even feel like doing anything that's going to cost you any extra money. Okay, now this could also be a bit of a point, you know, with in a close relationship, you know, that maybe you feel you're paying for everything, and that it's not like realistic, okay? You're gonna have to change something when it comes to whatever, okay? Either it's, you know, you both pay for whatever you're going to do as far as entertainment goes or something, or, you know, that you switch off and on, okay? Also on Thursday, November 10th, Venus in Scorpio in your 5th house trines Neptune, transiting in your 9th house of Pisces. And on Saturday, November 12th, Mercury in Scorpio in your 5th house also trines Neptune and Pisces in your 9th house, where Jupiter is back in your 9th house again. It's in Pisces. So this is a really nice transit for making plans possibly for long-distance travel. 9th house is long-distance travel and communications, foreign travel. It's also media and publishing. It is an internet house. Having Jupiter back here maybe brings the opportunity to take a trip that you were unable to take before. You know, someone could even be offering to pay for you, or at least pay half of whatever your trip is going to cost. Okay, this is also, as far as creativity goes, this is the house of publishing and media, but it's like copyrights and things like that. So this might be a time where if you have created something, you get a copyright on it. You make it legal. Make it legally yours, okay? On Sunday, November 13th, the Venus in Scorpio in your 5th house sextiles Pluto transiting in your 7th house of Capricorn. So this brings nice, like a fun time or whatever to your close relationships, your business partner, your romantic partner, or a friend, whatever. It seems like at least that relationship may be going pretty well at this time.